Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. The world has a way of demanding strength from you, like it's your sole purpose, like your only job in this life is to carry burdens for everyone else. They want you to be the rock, the unbreakable fortress, the never faltering source of encouragement and resilience. But here's the hard truth. Nobody's telling you when you stop being strong for yourself, you lose everything that truly matters. You become a hollow version of the person you were born to be, a ghost wandering through your own life, trapped by the weight of expectations that aren't yours to carry. Stop being strong for everyone but yourself. This is your moment to wake up from that endless cycle of exhaustion disguised as heroism. I want you to hear me clearly. Your strength is not a commodity to be spent freely on those who will never value it. Your strength is sacred. It is the fire within you, the power that fuels your dreams, the courage that propels you forward through every trial, every storm, every moment when giving up feels like the easier path. You see, strength is not just about holding it together for the world. Real strength, the kind that lasts, is rooted in knowing when to say no, when to draw boundaries, and most importantly, when to turn that strength inward to protect, nurture, and fight for yourself. Because without self-strength, you are nothing more than a puppet on strings pulled by the needs and desires of others. I know you've been told that to love others, you have to be selfless, but that's a lie. The deepest, most unshakable love you can offer anyone starts with the love you give yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup, no matter how much the world demands. The moment you realize that your first and most important responsibility is to your own well-being, your whole life shifts. You begin to stand taller, walk with purpose, and face your challenges with a clarity that others can't touch. Imagine the weight you carry every single day, the people you support, the problems you solve, the emotions you absorb. You're exhausted, aren't you? Mentally drained, physically spent, emotionally numb. But you keep going because that's what strong people do. But what if strength was not about endurance alone? What if strength was about choosing yourself when no one else will? Choosing yourself doesn't mean you stop caring for others. It means you understand that your strength is a resource that needs renewal, not just sacrifice. It means you protect your peace fiercely, guard your dreams relentlessly, and refuse to settle for less than what nourishes your soul. It means giving yourself permission to rest without guilt, to say no without shame, to put your needs front and center. You might be thinking, but if I do that, people will see me as selfish, as weak. Let me tell you something. There is nothing selfish about surviving. There is no weakness in standing up for yourself. In fact, the greatest act of courage you can ever perform is to honor your own truth, to walk away from what drains you, and to build a life where your strength is celebrated, starting with you. When you stop being strong for everyone but yourself, you stop being a martyr in your own story. You stop living for other people's approval, their validation, or their expectations. Instead, you reclaim your power. You become the hero of your own journey, not the supporting actor in someone else's drama. There is freedom in this kind of strength. Freedom from anxiety, from people pleasing, from the constant fear of disappointing others. Freedom to chase your goals without apology. Freedom to express your emotions without hiding behind a mask of toughness. Freedom to create boundaries that protect your energy and your joy. And here's what I want you to understand. Strength doesn't mean you have to carry every burden alone. Real strength is in knowing when to ask for help. It's in trusting that you are worthy of support, that vulnerability is not defeat, but a form of courage. The world glorifies the stoic sufferer, but true power is found in connection, in sharing your struggles, in allowing others to see your humanity, in building a circle that uplifts rather than drains you. You owe it to yourself to build that circle, to surround yourself with people who encourage your growth, who respect your boundaries, who celebrate your wins and hold your hand through loss. Because when your inner circle strengthens you, your strength for the world becomes sustainable, not an act of survival, but an expression of abundance. Your story matters. The strength you have inside is not infinite, but it is deep beyond measure. Don't let the world's expectations rob you of your joy, your peace, your future. It's time to stop stop being strong for everyone but yourself. It's time to be fiercely protective of your own heart and mind, to invest your energy in your dreams as much as you invested in helping others. Start by recognizing your value. Say it out loud. I am worthy of my own care. I deserve rest. I deserve love. I deserve to be strong for me. Repeat it until it sinks into your bones, because that is the foundation of every success, every healthy relationship, every fulfilled moment. When you stand firm in that truth, you become unstoppable. You attract people who honor you, who see your worth and respect your limits. You inspire others to do the same. You break cycles of codependency and self-neglect. You create a legacy of self-respect and empowerment. Remember, strength is a muscle. It needs exercise and rest. It grows when you feed it with belief, discipline, and self-compassion. It withers when you starve it with neglect and overextension. If you want to live a life of impact, happiness, and fulfillment, you must become your own priority. So today, right now, I want you to commit to that. Commit to saying no when you need to. Commit to putting your well-being first. Commit to loving yourself as fiercely as you love others. Because the world needs your strength. Yes, but it needs it at its best. And that starts with you. You were never meant to be everyone's rock without ever resting. You were never meant to give all your strength away and be left empty. You were meant to be a warrior who fights for your own peace just as hard as you fight for your family, your career, your dreams. This is your call to action. This is your moment of clarity. Stop being strong for everyone but yourself. Choose you, protect you, love you, because when you do, everything else falls into place. Now go ahead, take a deep breath. Feel the power rising inside you. That power is your birthright. It is your gift. It is your life. Own it. Live it. Be strong for you. The journey of embracing strength for yourself, unapologetically and without reservation, is not a simple path. It is a fierce rebellion against decades of conditioning, societal expectations, and the subtle chains forged by the desire to be needed, to be admired, and to be indispensable. But understand this clearly. True empowerment emerges when you shift your focus inward. When you honor your own soul's voice above the noise of external demands, you break free from the exhausting trap of endless giving and discover the true essence of strength. Too many of us have lived lives like an open faucet, pouring out kindness, energy, and resilience without pause. We have been conditioned to believe that self-sacrifice is the highest form of virtue. Mothers, fathers, friends, partners, colleagues, every role demands that we set aside our own needs to ensure others thrive. And for a while, that feels noble. That feels like purpose. But there comes a breaking point. A moment when the faucet runs dry and we are left empty, gasping for air, wondering why our light feels dimmer than ever before. There is a reason why the airplane safety instructions always tell you to put your own oxygen mask on first before assisting others. This isn't just a technical rule, it's a metaphor for life itself. Without securing your own breath, your own life force, you cannot be fully present, effective, or joyful in your support of others. You cannot pour strength into your relationships, your career, or your passions if you have nothing left inside yourself to give. This truth requires radical self-awareness. You must become the guardian of your own energy and the architect of your own peace. It starts with small, deliberate actions, carving out moments for rest, reflection, and restoration. It means listening closely to your body's whispers before it screams, to your heart's quiet yearnings instead of its desperate cry. It means learning to say no gracefully but firmly, understanding that every refusal is a gift to yourself, a promise to protect your boundaries and preserve your vitality. Choosing strength for yourself also means confronting the fears and insecurities that have kept you locked in patterns of self-neglect, fear of disappointing others, fear of being labeled selfish, fear of isolation. These are the invisible chains that bind men. But here's the liberating truth. Those fears are not facts. They are stories you've been told or told yourself. Stories that crumble the moment you challenge them with courage and clarity. Ask yourself, who benefits when I sacrifice my well-being for the sake of others' comfort? Who really grows when I remain silent instead of expressing my needs? The answer is simple: no one but the status quo. And that status quo is a slow poison that dulls your brilliance and drains your spirit. You deserve to be more than a placeholder in someone else's narrative. You deserve to be the protagonist of your own life, fiercely guarded and fully lived. This transformation demands discipline, but not the harsh, unforgiving discipline that wears you down. It is the kind of discipline that honors your limits and nurtures your growth. It is the discipline that gets you out of bed even when the world weighs heavy because you know your dreams depend on it. It is the discipline to protect your mind from toxic influences, your heart from needless pain, and your time from distractions that steal your focus. Visualization is a powerful tool in this process. Picture the life you want, not just for others, but for you. Imagine waking each day energized, motivated, and clear about your purpose. See yourself setting boundaries with grace, saying no without guilt, and choosing rest without regret. Feel the peace that comes from prioritizing your mental, emotional, and physical health. This is not selfish dreaming. This is strategic living. Belief is the fuel that ignites this journey. Believe deeply that you are worthy of this strength. Believe that your needs matter just as much as anyone else's. Believe that by choosing yourself, you are not abandoning others. You are creating a foundation strong enough to support everyone you love. When your belief is unshakable, discipline becomes natural, visualization vivid, and action inevitable. Let me remind you that self-strength doesn't mean isolation. On the contrary, it creates the space for healthier, more authentic connections. When you are clear about your worth and boundaries, you attract people who respect and uplift you. You no longer tolerate toxic relationships that drain your energy or demand endless sacrifice. Instead, you cultivate friendships and partnerships built on mutual respect, love, and growth. This kind of strength rewires your brain and your life. You begin to reject the narrative that your value is tied to how much you give or how tirelessly you work for others. Instead, you embrace the radical truth that your value is inherent. You are worthy simply because you exist. This shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from depletion to renewal. Now consider the financial and professional dimensions of your strength. So often people pour their time and energy into others' dreams while neglecting their own financial empowerment and career ambitions. They become the caretakers of everyone's stability, but fail to build their own wealth or pursue their own passions. Strength for yourself means taking control of your financial future, budgeting wisely, investing strategically, and prioritizing your career development. It means saying no to side hustles or jobs that sap your energy without rewarding your growth. It means believing you deserve not only to survive, but to thrive. The power of this mindset extends to relationships. Strong relationships do not require one person to be the unyielding pillar while the other leans without effort. Healthy partnerships are built on reciprocal strength, where both parties invest in themselves and each other. When you prioritize your own emotional and mental health, you bring your best self to the relationship. You create space for honest communication, mutual support, and shared growth. The journey to stop being strong for everyone but yourself is not easy. It will challenge the way you see yourself and the way others see you. You will face resistance, sometimes external, often internal. But every step toward your own strength is a step toward liberation. It is a declaration that you will no longer allow your worth to be defined by sacrifice alone. Remember this: strength is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about getting up after you fall, about learning to forgive yourself when you falter, and about recommitting to your own well-being every single day. It's about celebrating small victories, choosing rest, speaking your truth, honoring your boundaries, and recognizing them as the building blocks of a life fully lived. In your quest to reclaim your strength, Cultivate self-compassion. Self to yourself with kindness as you would to a dear friend. When the voices of doubt arise, counter them with affirmations of your worth and resilience. Practice gratitude for your journey, for the lessons learned, and for the strength that grows within you. You are not alone in this. Countless others have walked this path and emerged transformed. Draw inspiration from those who have chosen themselves and, in doing so, change the course of their lives. Let their stories remind you that this strength is accessible to you right now. Today, commit to a new way of living, one where you are the steward of your own strength, where your needs matter, and where your peace is non-negotiable. Step into your power with confidence, knowing that this choice honors your potential and unlocks your future. The world will continue to demand much from you, but you now stand firm in the knowledge that your first obligation is to yourself. That is not selfishness, it is wisdom, it is self-love, it is the greatest gift you can give to yourself and to everyone you hold dear. So rise up, choose, protect you, celebrate you, because when you do, your strength will no longer be a drain, it will be a wellspring, a source of unstoppable power that fuels your dreams, uplifts your spirit, and transforms your life. This is your time. This is your truth. Be strong, not just for them, but most of all for you. The path to true strength is a path of awakening, awakening to your own worth, your own power, and your own need. It is a journey that calls you to shed the layers of obligation, guilt, and self-doubt that have weighed you down for too long. When you stop bending yourself out of shape to fit the expectations of everyone else, you begin to stand tall in your own life. You begin to live with clarity, purpose, and an unshakable belief that your life is yours to design. No one else can carry your dreams, your pain, your victories, or your destiny. Only you hold the pen that writes your story. So why do we so often hand that pen over to others? Why do we let the voices around us dictate how much strength we have to give and when? It is time to reclaim authorship of your life, to decide on your own terms who you are, what you stand for, and how you will invest your energy. Strength for yourself looks like boundaries that protect your time, your emotions, and your mental space. It looks like the courage to say no without explanation or apology. It looks like prioritizing your own healing, your own growth, your own happiness. It means recognizing that you are not obligated to fix every problem, to soothe every pain, or to meet every expectation. It means acknowledging that your well-being is the foundation from which all else flows. Imagine what your life would look like if you stopped carrying other people's burdens as if they were your own. Imagine the freedom of focusing on your own growth, your own joy, your own fulfillment. Imagine the clarity that comes when you stop trying to be everything to everyone and instead become exactly who you were meant to be. This is not about abandoning responsibility or compassion. It is about redefining the way you engage with the world, with more wisdom, more intentionality, and more self-respect. When you invest in yourself first, you do not lose your ability to give. Rather, you enhance. Your generosity becomes sustainable, your love becomes deeper, and your presence becomes more authentic. Consider the toll that self-neglect takes on your mind and body. Chronic stress, anxiety, fatigue, and burnout are the silent consequences of giving without replenishment. These are not signs of strength. They are signals that your system is overwhelmed, that your limits have been crossed. To be strong for yourself means to heed these signals, to take action before exhaustion becomes illness, before emotional numbness becomes depression. Self-care is a critical component of this strength. It is the daily practice of nurturing your body, mind, and spirit. It is more than spa days or occasional breaks. It is the consistent commitment to habits that support your health and happiness. Eating nourishing food, getting enough sleep, moving your body, spending time in nature, cultivating mindfulness. These are acts of strength. They are declarations that you are worth the effort, the time, and the love. Your mental and emotional health deserve the same dedication. This means seeking support when needed, whether from friends, mentors, therapists, or coaches. It means allowing yourself to feel deeply, to process pain, and to release what no longer serves you. It means forgiving yourself for past mistakes and embracing your journey with compassion. As you deepen your relationship with yourself, you will notice a shift in your mindset. The scarcity mindset, the belief that you must constantly give and sacrifice to be valued, will begin to fade. In its place will rise an abundance mindset, the understanding that you have enough strength, enough love, and enough worth to live a balanced, fulfilling life. This mindset fuels resilience, creativity, and joy. Financial strength is another vital piece of this puzzle. When you prioritize yourself, you also prioritize your financial independence. This is not about greed or materialism. It is about empowerment. Financial independence gives you choices. Choices about where you live, how you spend your time, who you associate with, and how you invest in your future. It is a form of self-respect that protects you from dependence and vulnerability. Take control of your finances by educating yourself, budgeting wisely, and setting clear goals. Invest in your skills and career growth. Build a safety net that gives you peace of mind. When your financial house is in order, your overall strength deepens and your ability to support yourself and others increases. Relationships also transform when you stop being strong for everyone but yourself. Healthy relationships are partnerships where both individuals bring strength and vulnerability to the table. When you prioritize your own needs, you stop tolerating imbalance and codependency. You attract people who respect your boundaries and encourage your growth. You become less reactive, more centered, and more capable of giving love without losing yourself. This transformation starts with communication. Speak your truth clearly and calmly. Express your needs and feelings honestly. Listen to your own inner voice with as much respect as you listen to others. Practice assertiveness, standing firm in your convictions while remaining open and compassionate. This creates space for deeper connection, mutual understanding, and lasting trust. Your personal growth is also inseparable from your strength. The strongest people are lifelong learners. They seek out knowledge, experiences, and challenges that expand their horizons. They embrace discomfort as a sign of growth rather than a threat. They surround themselves with people who inspire and challenge them to be better. This pursuit of growth fuels confidence and self-efficacy, the belief that you are capable of overcoming obstacles and achieving your goals. Confidence is magnetic. It attracts opportunities and alliances that elevate your life. It also fortifies you against setbacks and criticism, making you resilient in the face of adversity. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your reality. It is the daily commitment to doing what must be done, even when motivation wanes. Discipline keeps you aligned with your vision, protects you from distractions, and builds momentum. When your discipline is rooted in love for yourself, it becomes a joyful practice rather than a burdensome task. Visualization enhances this discipline by helping you see and feel your success before it manifests. Picture yourself living the life you desire, confident, peaceful, successful, loved. Engage all your senses in this vision. The clearer your mental image, the more your subconscious mind works to make it real. Let go of guilt and self-judgment as you pursue this path. Many people feel undeserving of prioritizing themselves because they equate self-care with selfishness. This is a misconception. When you nurture yourself, you become a better partner, parent, friend, and leader. Your light shines brighter and reaches further. Self-compassion is essential. Treat yourself with kindness when you stumble. Celebrate progress, no matter how small. Remember that growth is not linear. It is a winding road with peaks and valleys. Each step forward builds your strength and resilience. It is also important to cultivate gratitude. Recognize and appreciate the blessings in your life, your talents, your relationships, your opportunities. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance and strengthens your emotional well-being. Ultimately, your strength for yourself is a revolutionary act. It defies the cultural scripts that demand self-sacrifice and martyrdom. It affirms your humanity, your dignity, and your right to happiness. It empowers you to create a life where you are not just surviving, but thriving. You are worthy of this strength. You have everything you need inside you to claim it. The choice is yours. Continue to give endlessly to others at the expense of your own soul, or rise up and be strong for yourself with the fierce love and respect you deserve. Choose to be your own champion. Choose to guard your peace fiercely. Choose to invest in your well-being, your dreams, and your future. When you do, you don't just change your own life, you inspire others to do the same. Strength is waiting for you. Step into it now and watch how your world transforms. There is a profound power in owning your strength, in staking your claim to the energy and resilience that have always lived inside you, waiting for you to acknowledge them. To stop being strong for everyone but yourself is to ignite a revolution within, a revolution that breaks down the old structures of self-neglect and replaces them with a foundation built on self-respect and fierce love. It is a declaration that you will no longer be drained by the demands of the world without refilling your own well, no longer defined by sacrifice alone, but by a vibrant, unwavering commitment to your own growth and happiness. When you begin to live this way, you will discover that strength is not some rare resource that others can take from you, but an ever-renewing wellspring fueled by intention and care. This wellspring requires tending just like a garden needs water, sunlight, and attention. Neglect it, and it withers. Nourish it, and it flourishes beyond your wildest dreams. That nourishment comes from simple but powerful choices, prioritizing your health, setting firm boundaries, speaking your truth, and carving out sacred space for rest and reflection. Let's talk about rest, because rest is the secret weapon of strength. In a culture that glorifies busyness, hustle, and constant output, rest is often misunderstood as weakness or laziness. Nothing could be further from the truth. Rest is an act of resistance and restoration. It is the sacred pause that replenishes your mind, heals your body, and calms your spirit. It is in those moments of rest that your inner strength regathers its power, preparing you for the challenges ahead with renewed clarity and vigor. Give yourself permission to rest without guilt. Turn off the noise of the world and listen inward. Notice the tension in your muscles, the fatigue in your mind, the heaviness in your heart. Honor those signals as your body's way of asking for care. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Every time you neglect rest, you chip away at your resilience. Every time you embrace it, you invest in your longevity. But rest alone is not enough. You must also build a fortress of boundaries, walls that protect your time, your energy, and your emotional well-being. Boundaries are not walls to keep others out. They are fences that define your space, ensuring that what is harmful or draining does not enter your inner sanctuary. Saying no when necessary is a vital part of this. It is a declaration of self-respect, a refusal to let others dictate your value by how much you can give them. Many fear that saying no will lead to rejection or conflict, but consider the opposite. When you say yes to everything and everyone, you say no to yourself repeatedly. Over time, that neglect builds resentment, burnout, and disconnection. When you honor your limits, you create healthier relationships and cultivate mutual respect. People learn to appreciate your authenticity and reliability because you are not depleted or overwhelmed. Embracing your strength also means cultivating emotional honesty. Too often we bury our true feelings beneath masks of composure, fearing vulnerability will make us appear weak. Yet, vulnerability is the birthplace of courage. When you allow yourself to feel deeply and express honestly, you reclaim your emotional power. You invite others to see your real self, creating connections based on truth rather than pretense. This honesty begins with yourself. Check in regularly. What are you really feeling? What do you need? What dreams have you put on hold to serve others? Asking these questions is not selfish. It is essential to aligning with your purpose and passion. Your emotions are your compass, guiding you toward what nourishes you and away from what depletes you. Another pillar of strength is cultivating a mindset anchored in belief and discipline. Belief that you are worthy of love, happiness, and success is the fuel that ignites your inner fire. Discipline is the engine that drives consistent action toward your goal. When these two forces work in harmony, they propel you beyond obstacles, doubts, and fears. Visualize your ideal life not as a distant fantasy, but as a vivid, attainable reality. See yourself walking confidently in your purpose, surrounded by supportive people, thriving in your health and wealth. Feel the emotions of success, peace, and fulfillment as if they are happening right now. This practice reprograms your subconscious to align your actions with your vision, transforming dreams into achievable outcomes. Financial empowerment is a critical aspect of being strong for yourself. Money is more than currency, it is freedom and security. When you take charge of your finances, you break cycles of dependence and open doors to opportunities that enrich your life. This begins with education, learning how to budget, save, invest, and plan. It means making conscious choices that align with your values and long-term goals. Don't be afraid to seek professional advice, whether from financial planners, mentors, or trusted friends. Building financial strength requires patience, strategy, and courage to make tough decisions. But the payoff is immeasurable, a life where you are not at the mercy of circumstance, but a master of your destiny. Let's talk about your relationships, because they are mirrors reflecting your own relationship with yourself. When you stop being strong only for others, you recalibrate these connections. You become less reactive, more centered, and more selective about who you allow into your inner circle. Toxic relationships lose their grip, while healthy, supportive ones flourish. This is the power of authenticity. When you live true to yourself, you attract people who celebrate you for who you are, not for what you can provide. You learn to give and receive love freely without fear or obligation. You create partnerships based on mutual growth, respect, and joy. Your personal growth journey is an ongoing commitment to becoming your best self. It requires curiosity, humility, and resilience. You will face setbacks and challenges, but each one is an opportunity to learn and strengthen your resolve. Seek out mentors, read widely, explore new experiences, and challenge limiting beliefs. Growth is the path to freedom. Discipline underpins this growth. It is the daily choice to show up, to do the work, to honor your commitments to yourself. Discipline builds momentum and creates habits that support your vision. It is not about harsh self-criticism, but about loving persistence, doing what is needed because you value your future self. Alongside discipline, cultivate gratitude. Gratitude rewires your brain to focus on abundance rather than lack. It shifts your perspective, helping you appreciate progress and embrace challenges as stepping stones. When you practice gratitude, you foster resilience and joy. As you nurture your strength for yourself, you become a beacon for others. Your courage inspires those around you to embark on their own journeys of self-care and empowerment. You break generational patterns of neglect and self-sacrifice, creating a legacy of self-love and resilience. Remember, this transformation is not about perfection. It is about progress, persistence, and compassion. Celebrate every step forward, every boundary set, every moment of rest taken. These are victories that build the fortress of your strength. So step boldly into this new way of living. Protect your peace with unwavering resolve. Choose rest without guilt, boundaries without apology, and self-love without hesitation. Invest in your growth, your health, your wealth, and your relationship. Your strength is your gift to the world, stronger, fuller, and more vibrant when it begins with you. When you honor yourself, everything else falls into place. Your dreams become clearer, your connections deeper, and your impact greater. The time to stop being strong for everyone but yourself is now. Own your power. Love yourself fiercely. Live your truth unapologetically. This is your revolution, your liberation, your life. Embrace it fully and watch how everything transforms. There is a profound liberation that comes when you choose to honor your own strength above all else. This choice is not a momentary act, it is a lifelong commitment to yourself that reshapes the very fabric of your existence. It requires courage to stand firm when the world expects you to bend and serve without pause. Yet, in that courage lies the birth of a new reality, one where your energy, your time, and your love are precious commodities, guarded and invested wisely. When you embrace this path, you begin to recognize the subtle ways you have surrendered your power. Perhaps it was in always saying yes to avoid conflict or in hiding your true feelings to maintain peace. Maybe it was in sacrificing your dreams to meet the expectations of others or in pushing through exhaustion to appear strong. These patterns, no matter how well-intentioned, deplete your core and dilute your life. Breaking free from these patterns is an act of rebellion against outdated narratives that equate worthiness with self-sacrifice. You rewrite the story, placing your well-being at the center, knowing that you are not less because you choose yourself first. In fact, you become more vibrant, more effective, more alive, because your foundation is solid and your reserves are replenished. One of the most transformative realizations on this journey is understanding that your emotions are not weaknesses to suppress, but signals to honor. When you stop silencing your feelings to keep others comfortable, you give yourself permission to experience life fully. Joy, anger, sadness, fear. They are all valid and necessary facets of your human experience. Allowing yourself to feel deeply without judgment strengthens your emotional resilience and sharpens your intuition. This emotional authenticity creates a ripple effect. When you lead with honesty, you foster deeper connections and inspire others to do the same. Vulnerability becomes a source of strength rather than a liability. You learn that sharing your struggles does not diminish you, it humanizes you and builds bridges where walls once stood. Strength for yourself also means embracing your individuality unapologetically. You stop trying to fit into molds created by society, family, or culture, and instead celebrate the unique combination of talents, passions, and quirks that make you who you are. This authenticity attracts opportunities aligned with your true self and opens doors to a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. To live authentically, you must cultivate self-trust. This is the quiet confidence that your inner voice is worthy of being heard and followed. Self-trust develops through consistent practice by making choices that align with your values, honoring your commitments, and learning from mistakes without harsh self-criticism. As your self-trust grows, so does your ability to navigate life's uncertainties with grace and confidence. Financial independence plays a crucial role in this empowerment. Money is often misunderstood as merely a means to an end, but it is also a powerful tool for autonomy and security. Taking control of your finances sends a strong message. You value yourself enough to invest in your future. It requires learning, discipline, and sometimes sacrifice, but the rewards are transformative. When you manage your money wisely, you free yourself from the stress and limitations that come with financial insecurity. You gain the freedom to make choices that support your well-being and your goals. Whether it's investing in education, starting a business, or simply building a savings cushion, financial empowerment strengthens your position to prioritize yourself without fear. Your relationships will inevitably shift as you grow stronger for yourself. Some connections will deepen and flourish, others may fade away. This natural evolution reflects the healthier boundaries and higher standards you set for how you allow others to engage with your life. Surrounding yourself with people who respect and support your journey becomes a vital source of strength and joy. In this process, communication is your greatest ally. Expressing your needs clearly and respectfully creates space for understanding and mutual respect. It also helps to prevent misunderstandings and resentments that arise when boundaries are unclear. Remember, you cannot expect others to respect limits you do not clearly define. Another essential aspect of being strong for yourself is learning to forgive, especially forgiving yourself. Let go of past regrets, mistakes, and the self-imposed burdens of guilt and shame. These emotions weigh heavily and hinder growth. Forgiveness is not about condoning wrongs, but releasing the hold they have on your present. It frees you to move forward, unencumbered and fully engaged in your healing. Self-compassion complements forgiveness beautifully. It involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a close friend. This practice softens the internal critic and nurtures a nurturing inner dialogue that encourages perseverance rather than perfectionism. With self-compassion, setbacks become lessons rather than failures. Your physical health is another pillar of your strength. Nourishing your body with wholesome food, regular movement, and sufficient rest forms the foundation for mental clarity and emotional stability. The mind and body are deeply interconnected. When one suffers, so does the other. Prioritize physical well-being as a non-negotiable act of self-love and respect. Mental wellness deserves equal attention. Practices such as meditation, journaling, therapy, or mindfulness help cultivate inner calm and self-awareness. They equip you to respond to stress with resilience rather than reaction. When your mental health is strong, your capacity to handle life's demands expands exponentially. Spiritual nourishment can also fortify your inner strength. Whatever your beliefs or practices, connecting with something greater than yourself offers perspective, hope, and grounding. It provides a sense of purpose that transcends daily struggles and fuels perseverance. Growth and transformation often involve discomfort. Change requires stepping into the unknown, facing fears and challenging ingrained habits. But discomfort is a sign of progress. Embrace it as a companion on your journey rather than an enemy. With every challenge faced, your confidence and capability increase. Discipline is the bridge between intention and manifestation. It is the daily commitment to do what aligns with your highest good, even when motivation wanes. Discipline nurtures habits that support your physical health, mental clarity, emotional balance, and financial stability. It is the quiet force that propels you forward when enthusiasm fades. Celebrate the small victories along the way. Each time you set a boundary, choose rest, speak your truth, or invest in yourself, you build momentum. These moments accumulate, forming the scaffolding of your new life, stronger, clearer, and more aligned with your authentic self. As you strengthen yourself, your impact on the world intensifies. Your presence becomes a source of inspiration and healing for those around you. You break cycles of neglect and self-sacrifice in your family, your community, and beyond. Your example lights the way for others to reclaim their own strength and live more fulfilling lives. This is the power of choosing yourself. It transforms not only your life, but the lives of everyone you touch. It creates ripples that extend far beyond your immediate sphere, contributing to a culture that values self-respect, authenticity, and well-being. You are not alone in this journey. Countless others have walked this path and found a richness of life that was previously unimaginable. Draw strength from their stories and know that your commitment to yourself is both necessary and noble. Today, recommit to the promise you made to yourself at the start of this journey to protect your peace, honor your needs, and live with courage and compassion. There will be days when the old voices of doubt and obligation try to pull you back. But stand firm. Remind yourself why you began and how far you have come. Your strength is not a finite resource, but a dynamic force that grows with every act of self-care, every boundary set, every dream pursued. Guard it fiercely, nurture it daily, and let it shine boldly. The world may continue to demand much from you, but you now know the secret. To give your best, you must first be your best. Strength for yourself is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It is the foundation upon which a life of joy, impact, and fulfillment is built. Choose to be the guardian of your own strength. Choose to be your own champion. Choose to live boldly, love deeply, and thrive unapologetically. Your time is now. Step into your power and watch the extraordinary life that unfolds when you are strong, for you, by you, and because of you.